What are your highest verdicts? What experience do you have? How many lawyers are on staff? How many clients have you represented? Speak to Whites and Luxembourg at 800-LAW-6789 to get unmatched answers. It's the biggest financial decision of your life. Call 800-LAW-6789 or visit misowin.com.
Perfect.
What did you get us?
With the click of a pen, you can get a new Volkswagen at the Sign Then Drive event. Hurry in to lease a new 2024 Taos for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing.
Think buying fake products is harmless? Think again. Think fake cosmetics are tested and safe? Think again. Think that medicine you can buy off social media is high quality? Think again. Counterfeits are made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. Each year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products are sold in the U.S. I smell big crime. Think about it. If you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart. Buy smart. Go for real.
Here's a holiday thought to ponder. Is it truly a wish list if you only have one wish? Make your wish list a reality with exceptional offers during the season of Audi.
Meet Gold Bond Daily Healing, a powerhouse lotion that moisturizes, heals, and smooths dry skin with 7 moisturizers and 3 vitamins. And new Gold Bond Healing Sensitive, clinically shown to heal and moisturize dry, sensitive skin. Gold Bond.
So it's decided. We'll park even deeper into parking spaces so people think they're open.
Surprise!
Can't hear you, Jerry.
Sorry. Yeah, can we get a system where when someone's bike is in the shop, then we could borrow someone else's?
No.
Or you can get a quote with America's #1 motorcycle insurer and maybe save some money while you're at it.
All in favor of that?
There's a lot of buttons and knobs in here.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential. And what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
When choosing between style, comfort, and performance, we chose all of the above. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
This may look like a holiday shopping showdown, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. Good thing my Rogue has intelligent all-wheel drive.
So does my Altima.
Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or save up to $2,500 on Rogue. Better hurry. These offers won't be back in stock.
Download the Yes app and experience the game in a whole new way with live stats, pick and play, and Yes rewards. If you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free.
Yes is back with us. Appreciate that. This is a good one.
This is the, if I'm not mistaken, is this the Trans-Siberian Orchestra version? There you go. See, Jacob, give me a thumbs up.
They're very good.
Because that guitar gave it away there.
I love it.
Yeah. By the way.
Yes.
Football game tonight, right?
Yeah.
That we talked about, Saints-Rams. You know who's going to be in attendance at said football game?
Is Otani going to be there?
Yes. You know who else is going to be there with Ohtani? You know who his +1 is?
No.
Somebody by the name
Drew
of
Doughty.
Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Holy crap. Where is that, Anthony? It's not even on the damn wall.
So I guess they're close.
Play it. It's gone. Yeah, they know each other. And by the way, so they posted a picture. Who had the thing, Jacob? I even missed who tweeted it out or whatever. But as Jacob pointed out, Ohtani looks jacked in the picture. Yeah, like the gun show is out.
Well, you can now focus.
Talking baseball. Our friends at Talking Baseball.
Or you can just focus on hitting this year, right? Because he doesn't have to worry about pitching.
Muscle Beach, like he's already acclimating himself.
Now
even though he was in Orange County.
Michael always makes fun of this. Well, Peyton Manning's going to go to the Dolphins because he's got a house in Miami. Well, let's talk this out here. So,
Yo, Cash, what up? It's Yamamoto.
So they're together. They're friendly enough to go sit down and partake in a football game on a Thursday. The thing that would worry me if I'm a Met or Yankee fan about not getting Yamamoto and the Dodgers getting him is the Dodgers obviously had that yo-yo contract with Ohtani for a reason. They want to be able to have the flexibility to sign players. And I would think that they did it to try to get Yamamoto, right? That's the other big gun to go get it. There's going to be other free agents, and believe me, he's only going to make, $2 million a year over the next, decade or whatever.
He's going to have to struggle.
There's plenty of other opportunities to get other free agents in other years. But for this year, with the greatest player in baseball making $2 million a year, that's to benefit them to be able to use that money to avoid the luxury tax. So, and the threshold and all that, all the goofy baseball stuff, that you can't have a salary cap, so you have all this other stuff. You would think that was to get Yamamoto. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to get him, but that's obviously they want them. They want him. They've got the money. They've got the room. And now you're going to see, him hanging out with Ohtani. That's just going to spark the flame of, he's going to go to the Dodgers. But apparently nothing's going to happen until after Christmas anyway. But guess what? The Christmas is coming. It's Monday. Today's Thursday. So it's around the corner. So is it just one of those things, or would you think the Dodgers are the favorites right now because of this?
Would it be an upset? How about we term it that way? Do you think it would be an upset if if Yamamoto signs with a team other than the Dodgers at this point?
No, not if it's the Yankees. If it was the Mets, it would be an upset.
It's funny, they're the richest team too, yet
but
that would be considered.
But I don't want to buy into the yo-yo stuff of the Mets aren't important. We had that conversation. But if you are going to come all the way to the East Coast, are you going to do it for a team that's ready right now, or a team that's gone public and said, well, we're not going to be going for a championship in 2024, haven't won a championship since '86, it doesn't have the prestige the Yankees have. I get all that. I think the Yankees are at a disadvantage because of their location. It's halfway across the world. LA's a little closer. You've got the greatest baseball player in the world playing for the Dodgers already. The Dodgers would be the favorite, but I wouldn't be slack-jawed if the Yankees got him.
Mm-hmm.
I would be if the Mets did.
Well, because the Mets are competing with a team in their own city, and a team that has certainly more prestige and the greater tradition and all those things, regardless of the economics. I mean, the Yankees can play ball economically if they choose to, but in terms of accomplishments on the field, yeah, the Mets are a third when we're talking about those
Now, if
teams.
I were to find out, if somebody were to whisper in my ear, Don, he's going for the money, all he cares about is getting paid, well, then I would move the Mets up and say there's a real chance because maybe Cohen would break the bank. Because, as you said, as rich as the Dodgers and Yankees are, they're not as rich as Steve Cohen. But
now he can do whatever he wants.
I don't know. And there's a little piece of me that I mentioned this yesterday. There's no resume here in the States. We don't know what kind of guy this is going to be. Right? We don't know how good a pitcher he's going to be. Everybody says it's lights out, can't miss. Okay, let's see. Now, Senga looked like he worked. It took a while for him to get going, but he finished 7th in the Cy Young. Looked like the Mets got it right with him. But we'll see. I mean, you're going to be paying him. You're going to want better than Senga with the money he's going to end up making. So it does get to a point where if the Mets win him out because of the money, that you'll look at the money and go, I'm happy we have him, but that's an awful lot of money.
Well, and the thing we don't know either is we hear all these reports and these rumblings just about the association with the Japanese player, how much they're tied to other Japanese players. Like, is that a good thing that they want to play with their fellow countrymen? Or is it like a sign of disrespect where you team up with another Japanese player? So if that's the case, you got Ohtani on the Dodgers. You got, a place where Matsui made his name with the Yankees when he came over here, and Yamamoto was a big Matsui fan. Senga's with the Mets. Like, I don't know what to believe because we've heard both sides of the story, and he himself hasn't spoken.
Now, let me just say this. And it's just me talking. I can't get inside the guy's head. Everybody's different. But if just relate it to what we do for a living. Mm-hmm. I love doing shows in New York. I'm from this area. And let's say there was bigger and better money to be made in sports radio in Japan. All right? Mm-hmm. Now, what would be the driving force for me to go? If I decided I'm going to go to Japan, but I'm not sure what radio station I'm going to go join. Would it be that there have been other great sportscasters that have gone to Japan at a certain radio station that aren't there anymore, but there's a lineage of great New York broadcasters that have gone to Japan and killed it there and did a great job and then moved on and retired? Would that be a driving force? Or other American New York announcers at a radio station? For me, if I'm going to go to Japan, a place I've never been, do not speak the language, do not understand or know the culture well, I'm going to want to go where there's some familiar faces. People that maybe I know or have worked with or at least know me, or that we speak the same language and we're from the same place. That would drive more than, if you told me that, this person or that person used to work at that station. That wouldn't do anything for me. What would do for me is, can I go out there and have colleagues that are similar to me? That would drive me more so than the legacy.
Yeah, a little different. Certainly because we're not playing baseball and all those other things to where you could go out there and do your own thing. But I mean, like radio, you're kind of contingent upon other people also.
But if you walk in a room, Dan, don't you feel more comfortable in that room if there's a few people that you know as opposed to not knowing anyone?
I guess. I mean, and it's also like culture shock, too, right? I mean, when you're moving halfway around the world.
It would be so hard. I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
There's no way.
There's no way. It'd be so very difficult to
Well, just imagine, let's say you were an athlete, right? Let's say you were a baseball player, and for all your life you played here, but then things didn't work out a certain way, so you had to continue your career and go play in Japan because they were offering you more money than, let's say, anybody here in the United States was. People do it, but I'm sure that there's an adjustment period, and it's not easy. On the field, off the field. Honestly, I don't know, just the type of person I am, if I could be able to handle that.
Now, this portion of the show brought to you by the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. When we come back, Steve Peichel, head coach of Rutgers basketball, will join us next on Yes and 98.7 ESPN New York.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. Sign up today and get free chicken wings for a year. ButcherBox.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
Welcome to the Athletic Basketball Show. Folks, the league is in absolute chaos. Players going off pretty much every other night. Playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of Famers. It might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Scorers on pace to break the
The Athletic. Subscribe today.
Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CRV, your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
My boy. What you doing?
I'm locking in my prize picks. I just pick more or less on player stats. If I get them right, I win big.
Yeah, like what? I got you. Oh, a black genie. If you pick 2 right, you win 3x. Pick 4 right, you win 10x. And if you pick 6 right, you win 25 extra cash. It don't get no better than this. Oh, but it does. Because right now, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy.
Welcome to Win Reality. Experience unlimited at-bats from home any season, anytime. See game speed pitches from more than 600 pitchers. Get ready for game time with game simulations. Face your friends in live competitions. And train like the pros with expert drills and metrics to track your progress. So when your moment comes, you'll be ready. Win Reality. Baseball uncaged.
Time is running out for limited time savings on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Because when the holidays end, so do these deals. Plus, the season's best savings also come with America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in. Don't let these deals get away. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month or get 0% APR for 60 months plus 0 payments for 90 days during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Welcome to Win Reality. Experience unlimited at-bats from home any season, anytime. See game speed pitches from more than 600 pitchers. Get ready for game time with game simulations. Face your friends in live competitions. And train like the pros with expert drills and metrics to track your progress. So when your moment comes, you'll be ready. Win Reality. Baseball uncaged.
This match was made in baseball heaven.
It's the perfect acquisition for this team.
You're getting Juan Soto, whose career is on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
The Yankees have made their offense must-watch TV.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
You know, a real cool story in college basketball is when Rutgers, the recruiting class is incredible, and Steve Pikiell's a major reason for that. And he's the head basketball coach at Rutgers, and he joins us here on the Michael Kay Show. It's Don LaGreca, and I'm sure you're familiar with the work of Dan Grassa. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, guys. I appreciate you having me on. And Dan, it's good to see you.
Coach, always a pleasure, my friend, and congratulations on the big score, of course, with Dylan Harper and that recruiting class. And you know this, I mean, you and I have talked many times, for somebody who grew up as a fan of the program, went to school there, to see the college basketball national recruiting rankings, Duke, Kentucky, and Rutgers all in the same sentence there. I'll tell you, myself and a lot of alums, a lot of pride in what you've been able to accomplish here.
Well, I tell you what, it really is. It's a credit to this it's a great university, and we're the 15th ranked public university in the country right now. So academically, there's no better place, and just great people here at the school, and we play in a terrific league, obviously, and selling out every game certainly helps in the recruiting process, and I'm blessed to have great assistant coaches. But we got some talented players coming into the program, and like to think we have talented players right now in the program. So excited about this year, and certainly excited about the future. But all the credit goes to a great university with some, great people that surround our program.
And I live in the neighborhood, Coach, so I know it's a great neighborhood. It's a great school. It's a great conference. There's a lot that you can sell when you're in somebody's living room recruiting an athlete. What are some of the other things that you sell them about Rutgers?
Well, I tell you, I have two kids currently that go. One is getting her master's at Rutgers, and she's going to finish up here in a couple weeks. And my son is a senior here. So not only do I try to get their kids to come here, my own kids who could have went to a lot of places come here. And there's great people here, and there's a great energy on this campus. We have tremendous leadership for the president. Pat Hobbs, our great athletic director. So you got great leadership. I always say to people, if it was a stock, you need to buy it now, because Rutgers is really doing unbelievable things in the academic world and sports. I mean, the job Coach Shiano's done, with our football program playing in the Pinstripe Bowl, and our wrestling program, sells out. Jersey Mike's Arena, our basketball teams, our soccer teams have been to Final Fours. Our men's lacrosse team, Final Four last year. Just really some great times here at the university, and just blessed to be a part of it, and thankful that people come out and support us.
And if you want to go see Rutgers play basketball, Saturday might be one of your better opportunities if you are in the area, because Rutgers is going to be playing Mississippi State at the Prudential Center in Newark. So go to Ticketmaster to buy tickets for the Gotham Classic this weekend as Rutgers takes on Mississippi State at the Prue Center in Newark, because this is your last chance to buy tickets to catch Rutgers for tickets not on the secondary market, because all games are sold out at Jersey Mike's Arena this season. Go to SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Rutgers Athletics, to buy tickets for all remaining home games at Jersey Mike's Arena. I think it's a credit to you, Coach, the administration, the players, everybody involved with the program. And winning is also what helps this, but the home court advantage that you have cultivated at Jersey Mike's Arena. It is a place that opposing teams don't want to play. It's one of the best atmospheres in college basketball. That's also something that you could sell to recruits, because that is a home court advantage.
I mean, it's really becoming unbelievable. The environment's fantastic, and our students really show up and make it a loud environment and a tough place to play. We got a lot to really brag about. We've graduated every player since I've been here. Every kid has graduated. A lot of them have gone on and got their master's degree. And then, Caleb McConnell's in the NBA. Ron Harper was with the Toronto Raptors. Cliff will be next on that list. He led the nation in dunks last year. I think he's second right now in block shots. And, we continue to graduate guys and produce great, pros and guys that go on and sign contracts to keep playing basketball. So there's a lot of advantages, coming here, and it's the biggest media market, right, as you guys know, in the country, and playing in this league challenges you. The Michigans, the Ohio States, the Purdue's, every night. So you see some great basketball. And I'm glad you mentioned the Prudential Center, because that is the last time, you could see us play. Jersey Mike's does not have a seat available. So hopefully our fans will get a chance, before Christmas to come out. Mississippi State is excellent. Really good basketball team, was ranked in the top 25 earlier in the year. They're 9-2 right now. So we need Rutgers Nation to show up in Newark.
Jermichael Davis has been such a great story for you. Tell us more about him.
First of all, great family, a worker. He's one of my old-fashioned kind of, he's in the gym all the time. He loves basketball. He's the current, leader in the country as freshman in assist-to-turnover ratio. So it's a great stat as a freshman to get a lot of assists and not turn the ball over. And to do that in his first year has been really just amazing. But, blue-collar, tough kid, plays with a little chip on his shoulder, fast as could be. So I'm blessed he and Gavin Griffiths, two freshmen that we have that, have really produced, at a high level for young players.
You mentioned Gavin Griffiths, coach, and he was, before this class for 2024, he was your highest rated recruit. And he's done a nice job here trying to get acclimated to the college game and to the Big Ten. What about his progress so far here, making that transition from high school to now Big Ten basketball?
He's really done a really good job. He's learned a lot in his first, 10 games. He's improved his defense tremendously. He's instant offense for us right now. Off the bench, he was starting earlier. Now we have Mawat Mag back, in the lineup, which we're very thankful for. But Gavin's going to be a fantastic player. And he's another guy. He's in the gym all the time, comes from a great family, and his best days are ahead of him.
What are some of the things you'd like to see your team improve on as you go down the stretch of the season here?
We've really been harping on a few things, like, health is a big part of it, and how they eat and how they sleep and all those kind of things plays a big role. I've been disappointed with our rebounding, quite honestly. It hasn't been up to our standards. It's been better lately. Obviously a guy like Mawat Mag, who's one of the better rebounders on our team, helps us now that he's healthy. We're getting another big guy back playing very shortly here, Emmanuel Ogbo, who's 7 feet. He's about 280 pounds. He'll help us, too, in that area. But, we've had to really focus on that. We've got a lot of new pieces, too, so we're kind of figuring out, the rotation and those kind of things. But rebounding really has been a thing we've really harped on, and we got to do a better job of taking care of the backboards, and that'll go a long way, especially here in this Mississippi State game, too.
Coach Steve Peichel of Rutgers joining us here on 98.7 ESPN. And, you were nice enough to have me up there at practice and hang out in your office over the summer. And when we were talking about the team, you said you thought that you guys were going to be better this year with the incoming players that you had. And there's a tremendous amount of transition now in college sports from one year to the next with the transfer portal, everybody moving around here. And it's taken some time, but 11 games in, 10 games into the season, where do you think you guys are now in terms of incorporating all the new faces into playing how you would like to play?
Yeah, I think for everyone, it's a huge challenge. We're 7-3, and we had some games we didn't play as well as I would like. But I'm also learning that other teams are, really good too, and they're old. We played an Illinois team with a lot of, veteran guys, and we played a really good Princeton team to start the season, and I feel better 10 games later. If we played them now, I think, we would be in a lot better place, too. So it's always when you play teams and who you play at the time. But we learned a lot of lessons from the different games. We've shored up. We're turning the ball over a lot. Now we're not. I think our defense is getting better in a lot of areas. I think our offense is also starting to kick in a little bit. So, it's always a journey with the seasons. I like the journey. Everyone thinks you can go undefeated. I think there's only a couple teams in the country that are undefeated, but there's a lot of teams like 7-3 and like we are have a chance to have a really good year and have a lot of season left to do that.
Steve, I'm born and raised in New Jersey, so I've got a lot of pride in this state, and there's so much talk about Pennsylvania basketball and what those schools have done in the state of Pennsylvania, certainly New York. But you think of New Jersey, the way Seton Hall's playing now, St. Peter's runs a couple of years ago, what you guys have been able to accomplish. There's so much good basketball here in the state of New Jersey.
It really is a really good coaches, too. Fantastic. FDU makes a run last year in the tournament. St. Pete's the job that Shaw's doing at Seton Hall. And then you got great coaches at Monmouth and at Rider, and obviously Princeton. They're good every year. They were Sweet 16 team last year. So you have a lot of really good coaches, a lot of really good rivalries. A lot of coaches come into our area and try to steal our recruits, too. And college basketball, very healthy in New Jersey. And I'm thankful that Rutgers is a big part of that.
And Seton Hall actually did you guys a favor last night, Coach. They had a great win, upsetting UConn at the Prudential Center, but you beat Seton Hall a couple of weeks ago, so that only looks better for your resume moving forward with Seton Hall getting a big win like that.
Yeah, congratulations. They played great, and I think, University of Connecticut's awesome. I went to school there, and the job Danny Hurley's done there is fantastic. And, but Shaw's team is good. They went to, Missouri and won. I never get caught up in wins and quadrants and all that. There's so many analytics now, there's 14 different analytics. I get dizzy reading about them all. And, you just got to win enough games and be NCAA worthy. And, we won every metric last year that you can imagine. They picked one out that people didn't love, but there were 13 other great ones. You got to be good enough to get in that tournament. And, all the rest of this is you don't know who's going to win or lose on a given night. You don't know how you're going to be on a given night. You're still dealing with 18, 19, 20-year-old, kids. So you try to get them ready for all the obstacles ahead, and you do the best that you can with them, and you're excited about the journey that the season usually takes you on.
Real quick, Coach, I was just going to ask you, you mentioned last season in the snub for the NCAA tournament, one of the teams that did get one of those first 4 spots in one of the final at-large, you're going to be playing on Saturday in Mississippi State. Is that a message you convey to your guys going into this game here on Saturday afternoon?
I mean, we don't talk really, to be honest, a lot about last year. Different team, different, circumstances, but we did talk about Mississippi State being very good and being a lock for the NCAA tournament this year. So, they have some really good players, and he does a fantastic job, coaching, and so it'll be a real challenging game at a neutral site, for us. We wanted to be challenged in the, non-conference, and this team looks exactly like, some of our teams in the Big Ten, big physical, athletic basketball team. So this will help us as we prepare for, league play.
Well, Steve, good luck the rest of the way, and we love having you. It's good to get to know you, and go RU.
Guys, I appreciate it. It's nice you have me on. Happy holidays.
Yeah,
you both.
You too.
Same to you, Coach.
And get out to the Rock. Check that game out, man, because you can't get to the Rock. You're not going to be able to see them. So,
Don, that's the truth. I mean, there ain't a seat to be had, believe me. And I'll be there Saturday. Looking forward to it here. So hopefully, you get a nice win.
Well, this portion of the show brought to you by Bigelow Tea, who encourages you to grab a mug and tea proudly. Lots to get into in the 5 o'clock hour. It's Don and Dan on the K Show, and yes, at 98.7 ESPN New York.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes
shingles?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
I like following sports, and I wanted to have a source that would be satisfying, and The Athletic gives me what I'm looking for. There's a plethora of content. There's so much stuff to read, and there's so many different perspectives. How could I lose? I love that The Athletic distracts me in a positive, refreshing, and entertaining manner. I really like that.
Boost your streaming experience with live stats on the Yes app. Real-time features like player stats, game leaders, and play-by-play are available now on phones, tablets, and now on connected TVs. Live stats while you stream, now on the Yes app.
This may look like a holiday shopping showdown, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. Good thing my Rogue has intelligent all-wheel drive.
So does my Altima.
Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or save up to $2,500 on Rogue. Better hurry. These offers won't be back in stock.
My dad, he's a double amputee, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. To me, a hero is someone who fights for our country and freedom. My dad is a hero. Homes for Our Troops built this house, and it's basically made for him. My dad can get through the wide doorways. When he is making our lunch, he can reach anything we need. He'll help me build tiny projects. Life is good here. Without Homes for Our Troops, we'd be living in a home that didn't have all these features that helped him.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives.
If they get a new house like this one, it'll help them do normal life. My dad's not just a hero, he's my hero.
Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Big Football Friday tomorrow. As Joe Fortenbaugh is going to join us at 5:30. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the 4 o'clock hour, I believe it's 4:45, is the great, and I mean great. I throw great around loosely a lot, but I mean it when I say the great. Greg Buttle is going to join us.
Yeah, that's right. Anthony, get the drops ready.
I love that man.
Yeah, there's mutual admiration, love, whatever you want to say. I'm right there with you.
When Nancy and I decided to have the children, she said that not if we're going to continue doing the Jets. She put her foot down. She said, no, we're not going to continue with the Jets, and you disappearing for hours on end on Sunday. And the Rogue Saturday and all that stuff. And, you're going to have to give something up. And I wasn't going to give up the Rangers. So I had to give up the Jets. And easily the toughest thing about that was not seeing Greg. My wife was like, I know you love Greg, and it's going to hurt, but you got to give it up. And I gladly gave it up. But the one thing I miss the hours. You miss the people, and especially Greg. And know, working with him the last 6 years, he's a tremendous human being.
It makes the job fun, if you want to even call it a job. Because, look, in 6 years, there's been more losses than wins from a football standpoint. But we have fun. We do a good job. And, yeah, it's the people you work with that make things go smoothly.
Yeah, and that goes...
You're darn tootin'.
And that goes for Bob and Marty as well. I always believed it was... the best broadcast in the NFL when I was on it, and it continues to be now that Dan has replaced me, and I think they're better off with Dan than me. Dan's got more time to be able to go down to camp and do the interviews, and he's better at it than I am. So they definitely got a tremendous individual in Dan Grasso to work with Greg, but I do miss Greg, and I do believe Greg likes me more than you. That makes me feel better.
Well, you're going to have to ask him tomorrow, obviously.
We'll ask him. That'll be the first question.
Oy, oy.
No,
or maybe you can have an unbiased observer ask the question, because if you ask the question, he might feel more obligated to say you. If I ask the question, he might feel more obligated to say me. You know what I mean? So maybe we should just pick somebody random. I don't think he'll
feel the only thing Greg is obligated in doing in his life is just to tell the truth. Believe me, I've been around. It's very uncomfortable sometimes, his truth.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
No, and I can too. I can give you two examples, and I'm going to spare the feelings of the people that he was honest with.
Okay.
While we're on the Jets, Nathaniel Hackett spoke. Now, if you weren't listening to the McAfee show or us talk about it on Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers gave a vote of confidence to the coaching staff and specifically to Nathaniel Hackett. Rodgers was obviously effusive in his praise of Saleh and Douglas and especially Hackett, which is no surprise for their time in Green Bay together. So Hackett talked about Rodgers' endorsement.
I mean, I didn't even know about that. Truthfully, I've been keeping my head down, trying to get Trevor ready for this game. I've got a great relationship with Aaron. Aaron's been with me through a lot of different things, and he knows how I work, how we work as a staff, and so that's always appreciated. But in the end, my focus is on Washington, getting Trevor ready.
It's interesting he says Trevor, too, Dom, because Zach Wilson didn't practice again today. So, I mean, we are steaming towards Trevor Siemian at quarterback.
I was going to say, this is why a lot of teams decide to put the clamps down on assistant coaches speaking, because they're just not as savvy as the head coach. That was probably a little bit more information than Nathaniel should have given us. But
yeah, how dare he? Now the Jets aren't going to make the playoffs.
But Dan, you know how ridiculous these coaches are. They will not tell you anything.
It's refreshing.
I know, but I'm just saying that
I'm with you.
I don't know if he was. I've decided to be refreshing, or whether just he's an honest guy and doesn't deal with the media as well as some others and let it slip. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The game doesn't matter. I probably give them a better chance to win with Zach against the Commanders, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really makes much of a difference.
Something's got to give, because you've got the last-ranked offense statistically versus the last-ranked defense statistically. So something's got to win out.
You would think. It's
going to be 0-0.
The people watching are the ones that are going to be the ultimate losers. and I feel bad for you. That but listen, you're getting paid, and you're getting paid well. You got to do it. And I went through it from the 16 years. There were a lot of games. It's like, this is literally the last game anybody would want to watch. But it's the Jets, and there's going to be people there, and Christmas Eve. It's just a perfect storm of bad, right? It's Christmas Eve. It's a non-rival. Two teams going in the wrong direction. Not good, Bob. Not good.
I don't even know if the baby Jesus can save this one.
Well, what are you trying to say? If there's anybody that could, it would be. Listen, it would just be it would be a lack of effort on Jesus' part. He could do it. He just he's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, but is he going to suit up?
No,
what, is he going to call plays?
No.
Like, what is he? Is he going to play quarterback? What is he going to do?
Listen, I've never spoken to Jesus, but I think I kind of know him just from it being around.
From his work?
From his work. That
secondhand.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think if there are any prayers going up to heaven about the Jets-Commanders game, Jesus' answer would be, I'm good.
He's getting ready for Dolphins-Cowboys at 4:25. He's doing some last-minute Christmas shopping.
This is a rough
because he wants to get home for Cowboys-Dolphins.
Again, it's sometimes I'm assuming the game is on, in growing up with the Jets being home, the game would be on Fox, but there was literally CBS. 3 NFC exclusive games that were on CBS last week. So I have no idea what network's thinking what game, especially when we get down to here. But this would be that if the game was on Fox, they'd say, remember back when NBC had no announcers? Let's try that.
Yeah, this is a CBS vehicle, Spiro Ditas vehicle.
Yeah, and he does a good job. And listen, he'll nail it like he usually does, but it's a tough sell. 1-800-919-3776. Now, if you remember yesterday, Michael in upstate New York was concerned about his health going into his broadcast in upstate New York, and I gave him some advice on how to get through, and I thought his pipes were fine. I thought he sounded great, but he said he had a running nose, and he was a little worried, so I gave him some advice. So before we bring Michael in, Anthony, why don't you play some of Michael's calls, and then we'll ask him how he felt it went.
Rosello retains possession. It's Secker on the outside. Nylon! Brody Secker from downtown. Long trying to work against Carlos. Oh, what a spin by Long. Long on the inside. It's good. Alex Long with a spin and the finish on the layup. Saints, and he continues to impress. Rosello on the drive through the contact. Chance for a three-point play at the line.
That was fantastic.
Sounds healthy to me.
Really good energy. I don't know Michael personally, but maybe a little nasally with the runny nose, but nothing that you can really notice. I wouldn't notice unless he told me. And nylon, how about that?
Subject.
I've never heard that before. Have you?
I think so. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not as big a basketball guy as you, but listen, that was tremendous work, Michael. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Thanks, Don. I feel better. It is a little nasally. That is my nose a little bit nasally. I don't usually sound quite like that, but for the majority of people, I got a census around the school today, and people didn't really notice it. So it's a good thing. I took your advice. I got Manuka honey. It's excellent. Wow, that is expensive, but it tastes wonderful. I got some Flonase as well.
Yes.
Sprayed that up there. That's an interesting thing to work with, but it helps with the watery eyes a lot. And I woke up this morning not getting the body aches I was feeling the day before. And, yeah, thanks for the praise, guys. Overall, the K Show for me has really just been such an inspiration for wanting to have a career in sports broadcasting. And I know Michael and Peter aren't there right now, obviously, but you guys and Don, you guys have been just so tremendously impressive to me, and it's such an inspiration. It's fueled my passion to really chase a dream, and I can't thank you guys enough. Thanks for playing my call.
Well, I got to tell you, I only heard 3 of them, but there's a future there, man. So keep with it. And anything that we can do to help you, any advice you need, health-wise or play-by-play, between myself and, Michael, who's done basketball a lot, and certainly, his baseball work, we'd be there for you, man. So good luck with everything.
Thank you, sir. You're really the best. Love you guys.
All right,
Thanks, Mike. Good job.
Michael in upstate New York. That was a good job. I never heard nylon, but you've heard nylon. I never.
Yeah, there's a nylon. I mean, that's the net, right?
No, I get.
Nothing but net.
If I didn't get the reference, it wouldn't be a good call.
I know you got the reference, but somebody, picked it out of thin air once upon a time. I mean, Naismith invented this game a long time ago. Nylon has been around.
I have never used nylon. I guess everything that you use has been used before. I mean, the English language is, used by everybody. So I've not heavily, but occasionally I've said pure, mostly on foul shots, and like the second one, pure. I don't know if that's any good or not, but just try to change it. And I do the occasional splash.
That's okay.
Because you got to. That's the thing. You just can't say the same word all the time, and you got to try to change it up a little bit.
Do you know who the first broadcaster was for basketball to say the word swish to tell people on the radio that a basket was made?
It sounds like something Marv would have done, but
close.
It's not Marv. Close.
Marty Glickman. Great Marty Glickman.
Marty Glickman. Swish. That's good.
Swish. He was the first one.
Tell you, we've been really blessed in this town with the announcers we've had on pretty much every team. But you think historically, like these are great. My 2 guesses were Marv and Marty Glickman. I mean, that's how good is that?
Right.
And
that's the Mount Rushmore right there.
That's all. Listen, I can probably. I mean, I wouldn't do it because unless I just did people that aren't doing it anymore. Like I don't want to sound like biased and leave people out. But I and this is not any exaggeration. I mean, we don't have a weak spot. I mean, everybody that calls games here in New York does a tremendous job, even the college. I mean, you got Carlin doing football and Recco doing basketball for Rutgers. There's a lot of good announcers everywhere. I guess it's New York, so there's going to be a high standard. But
no mistakes made.
But I also believe that, and maybe I haven't lived everywhere, but I just have a feeling that play-by-play is probably appreciated more in New York than anywhere else, just because of the people that we've had. So there's always going to be that appreciation when you've got guys that are going back in the day, like the greatest to ever do it. So it certainly sets a standard, and I'm honored to be even a small part of that. So
100%.
It is, and like we played Dan's calls, last week. You've done a terrific job doing the Jets, which is even harder because, it's not something you do all that often. Just when you get in a groove at the end of a game, it might be another year before you get a chance to do one. But
right,
you need more. It's the Jets' fault because they need more players to get their numbers retired and to be honored. And then you'd get chances to do more series, right? Because Bob would be down in Bob
emceeing the ceremonies.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You need 2 things for you to get more play-by-play. Number 1, the Jets need to honor more players.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob can't treat air like crack, where he's got Usain Bolt to get back to the booth. Like if he meandered a little bit, you might be able to get a few more plays.
So what you're saying is the crack is tempting.
Oh, he loves the air. I mean, and I love Bob, but Bob loves the air.
Well, we need it to breathe.
Okay.
We need it to survive.
Captain Literal Man over here. All right.
And he's great, by the way. I mean, let's not lose sight of that. He's great.
Honestly.
Great. As good as anybody.
He will go down. Oh, this is going to get me in trouble. Because I know some of the people that have done Jets. That he'll be the greatest Jet announcer of all time.
Well, I mean, just look at the longevity period.
Well, not just the longevity, but and again, that's not to. And again, Howard David, tremendous. Love Howard. And he's going to be on the air tonight at 9. And he did it, but I think what puts Bob over the top is how long he did it. Ian, too. I mean, the Jets have had amazing announcers, and then Papa does a great job with the Giants. Papa's been doing it forever. And then you go back the history of the Giants. There's a lot of guys that were tremendous there, too. So, again, we've been very, very fortunate here.
We're lucky folks.
Jim Gordon.
Lucky folks.
Yeah, listen, I grew up with Jim Gordon and Dick Lynch.
You taped them off the cassette player there.
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't work out that I got into radio, you'd say maybe I had a bit of a problem.
You still have those tapes? Do you think someone?
Oh yeah, I save everything.
They can't be digitized?
I don't know. How do you? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
Peter
sure
Jackson brought John Lennon back from the dead and made a new Beatles song.
That is true, but these cassettes are not. They weren't taken care of. They weren't put in some, air pressure.
Well, they don't have to be in the Smithsonian.
No, but I'm just saying these tapes are 40 years old if they're a day. So I'm sure you put them in, they might just melt. I don't know.
Well, did you have them in a case, or are they just like
they might? But
dust
what was a case?
A case you put.
But think about the cassette tapes. There was no protection there. They weren't sealed, airtight, or anything.
But there was a case, so the case would collect dust, and the tapes would. I mean,
guess.
it's like I'm talking to a 5-year-old.
No, but
I understand the medium is long since passed.
It's not about dust at the 40. It's just 40 years. It's a long time.
Anthony, what were you going to say?
He doesn't know.
Well, Ray D still does the CDs for Don. He burns all the CDs and gives Don his play-by-play.
And that's old, too.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, we've evolved from cassette to CD.
Yeah, but I'm still like 10 years behind.
Flash drive will be next when we get to the next thing.
No, every Ranger game I've ever done, I have
floppy
on
disk.
CD.
We doing floppy disk?
Every game I've done is on CD somewhere. I know exactly where they are.
That's commendable, though. But ultimately, like, what's going to happen?
No, well, they were done.
Like, what's going to happen with them?
They were done for me to listen to them to critique myself. And back when I was doing like one a week for like during the football season, but when they started to pile up like 50 times a year, then I just got backlogged. Here's my hope that someday after I'm gone, Marco and Jalen are going to be going through my stuff, and hopefully he's a sports fan. I say he, not to be sexist, but my daughter has no interest in sports. Marco does. That they'll appreciate listening to their dad doing a game a bunch of years ago, like, because I would think that would be cool, right? Like, well, what if my dad did what I did for a living?
Absolutely.
And I'd go back to an old notebook and I'd be flipping around and seeing him taking notes about a Ranger game from like 1967. And seeing, he writes down that Gordie Howe committed a penalty in a Ranger Red Wing, I would get a kick out of that. So whenever I'm writing notes but listen, they're all going to just end up in a dumpster because they're going to move on and probably have a party with the money I left them. But there's a small, tiny little piece that thinks they might actually appreciate what their father did for a living.
Hopefully you don't have to, like, sell them. Like, God forbid, if they run into, like, hard times, they have to, like, sell them to try to make ends meet.
If that's what they're going to be relying upon for money, they're going to starve.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Let's go to Sal in Patterson. He's got a very interesting take on something. You're on ESPN New York. How are you, Sal? Hi, Sal.
I apologize for being on speaker, but I can't get to the screen to remove it. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
I'm calling about your French fry list of maybe 6 or 8 months ago.
Okay.
I'm a little biased, but I was floored when arguably the most iconic French fry on the planet wasn't even given a mention. You didn't even say you thought about it because nobody even mentioned it. And that's the Nathan's French fry.
Not a fan.
Why is that?
Which I think is the best in the world.
Not a fan.
Why don't you like the Nathan's fry?
Because I've always felt, Sal, and I got hammered when I came up with a list, but it's my list, and I can be biased on my list. I never enjoyed. I felt like the potato in the fry was just too
potatoey.
Just too soft. Like it didn't have.
Well, maybe it's the way it's cooked. Just cook them a little bit.
No, but I'm just you go and you purchase it. You get a nice hot dog. I love the Nathan hot dog, but I always found their fries to be a little too squishy. I felt,
here's what you do:
just mashed potatoes that were wrapped up in fried or whatever.
Go to the grocery store. Go to your local grocer. Okay, go to the freezer section. You could buy frozen Nathan's fries. You put them and cook them at home, and you can make them how you want. Maybe just cook them a little bit more, and I think that you'll eventually come around.
Okay, but I was just going by what I know.
Okay. So what were you, like, I must have missed this list.
He said 6 months ago. It was like during the infancy of the pandemic. I save all that, too. I can go find the notebook that I wrote
off
those
the top of your head, don't give me the order, just like what were the fries?
I love the...
McDowell's?
Yeah, McDonald's, I probably had at number 1. I don't know. I'm not in the French fry mode now. I'm just
Wendy's?
Trying to think. Wendy's makes a nice fry.
You know, it was a great fry.
Oh, the other one, too, that's great that nobody's going to even think of? KFC makes a great fry.
Well, Greg wouldn't be able to speak on that.
He would have.
That's funny.
What's that?
I get it. That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's exactly what
Fuddruckers a great fry. I mean, there's not many of them left, at least in our neck of the woods, but Fuddruckers was outstanding.
I'd have to go back and find the list, but that's a long time ago. He said 6-8 months ago. I think it goes back way deeper than that.
Where do things stand, by the way, as far as tomorrow with a list?
You know, I probably should have a list.
No, you definitely should. It's the last show of the year.
I'm working on one that I thought I might be able to have today.
No, save it for tomorrow. The show's over already.
I ran out of time. The kids had their sing today.
How did that go, by the way?
Yeah, good. It just, there's a lot of kids, so it wasn't like she did a solo or anything, or he did a solo. So it's just a voice among 50 other kids singing, but it was nice.
Is it aggravating to have to sit through the entire choral rendition, like with the kids that you
songs
really have no regard for?
Songs are great. All of different types of religions were represented.
Really?
Yeah, it was very good.
And accompanying musical numbers to go with it?
Yeah, it was all good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
you have to sit through those.
And they had a big screen so you could follow along, like a sing along. It was really they do a good job over there. Jimmy on Staten Island, you're on ESPN.
Like karaoke.
Exactly. Hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Hey guys, hey Donnie. Don, after I tell you something, I got a little beef with you afterwards.
Love it.
Okay?
Oh, hey.
No. What about the big whistle, Don, with Jim Gordon during Ranger games in the 70s and early 80s?
Yeah.
How good were they?
Yeah, he was. I never got a chance to meet him, but nothing but great stuff about Chatwick. He was tremendous.
He used to entertain us. Now, the beef I got with you, Donnie, is why aren't you doing as many Ranger games this year as you did last year? I never hear you on the radio doing a Ranger game.
There's a lot going on, but you've heard me doing more Knick games. I don't know if you're a big basketball fan, but
I hear you doing Knick games, and the heck with the Knicks. You're a Ranger guy.
Yeah, Don,
it's all good. It's all good, but
come on, Don.
Ed Cohen's been going through some stuff, so they've needed me to do some Knick games, and there's a lot that everything. It's all good, and I appreciate you missing me. And I got a game tomorrow, and I got a game Saturday. I'm going to be Rangers Oilers tomorrow at the Garden. Saturday I'm going to be doing Rangers Sabres at the Garden. So things will be hopefully getting back to where they were, but they've needed me in other areas, and I've accommodated. So I do appreciate it. But a beef with me? What do you think? I just didn't want to do them?
That's the way you made it sound. Hey, Don, I got a beef with you. Why don't you doing more Ranger
Can
games?
we isolate that little moment there for ENN? Yeah. I appreciate it. All right, we got more of your calls coming up. Having some fun here on a Thursday before Christmas on Yes at 98.7 ESPN New York.
You've heard our story before. In some ways, it's yours. It's the one about rolled-up sleeves, measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. They're the reason we make boots that feel as good at 6 p.m. as they did at 6 a.m. They're the best you've ever worked in, or we'll take them back. Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
I'm Jessie Dover, co-founder of Dagny Dover. New York isn't for the faint of heart. The gear you carry around not only has to look good, but it has to work even better. That's why we create bags like the Landon Carryall, a bag that allows organizational junkies like me to be ready for whatever life brings. A bag that allows me to feel good about the things I carry. After all, this city is a reflection of who I am, purposeful, resilient, and ready to face whatever comes my way.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping, always. Sign up today and and get free chicken wings for a year. ButcherBox.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Boost your streaming experience with live stats on the Yes app. Real-time features like player stats, game leaders, and play-by-play are available now on phones, tablets, and now on connected TVs. Live stats while you stream, now on the Yes app.
This is so much fun. This makes it so easy. Yes, that was a good one.
Let's go. Play your favorite slots today and you can win the next big jackpot. Sign up now and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in casino bonus funds only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
10 years ago, we started Untuckit out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. It's been quite a journey. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. With great fabrics and design at the perfect untucked length, so you can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuckit, 10 years in the making, and we're nowhere close to stopping. Find the perfect holiday gift at untuckit.com today.
Time is running out for limited time savings on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Because when the holidays end, so do these deals. Plus, the season's best savings also come with America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in. Don't let these deals get away. Lease an all-wheel drive 2024 Palisade for only $379 a month or get 3.49% APR now during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
It's easy to stay safe online. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure-our-world.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael Kay Show. The past 2 weeks, the New Orleans Saints defense hasn't allowed a touchdown. Over that same stretch, the Los Angeles Rams offense found the end zone 6 times. In an overtime loss to the Ravens and a win over Washington. Tonight, the two teams meet with identical 7-7 records on Thursday Night Football. This game is huge for the Saints. They are currently on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. But a win over the Rams would give the tiebreaker to New Orleans moving forward. Right now it belongs to L.A. with a better conference record. They are 5-4 while the Saints are 4-5. It'll be a duel under center between Matthew Stafford and Derek Carr. Carr is coming off one of his best performances as a Saints player with his domination over the Giants this past Sunday. Stafford is having a very productive year and looks to keep the Rams on an upward trajectory. They have won 4 of their last 5 games, averaging 33 points per game over their last 4 games.
Jason Aldean's Highway Desperado Tour is coming to Northwell Health at Jones Beach Theater on Friday, July 12th, and PNC Bank Arts Center on Saturday, July 13th. ESPN New York has your chance to score tickets at ESPNNewYork.com or the ESPN New York app. Scroll down to contest and submit your entry. Brought to you by Live Nation. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Do we have breaking news sounder ready there, Jacob?
Uh-oh. You know what that means?
That means there's news, and you can take it any way you like it. I'm just offering it up to you.
I could tell. There's no light.
Well, I'll give you why in a second. But Ken Rosenthal is tweeting, contrary to previous reports, Yamamoto is not attending the Rams game tonight, per source. Shohei Ohtani might be there, but Yamamoto won't be there. I got to tell you, not Ken Rosen.
What up? It's Yamamoto.
You got to be almost like these people that cover baseball. I feel bad for them.
Well, there's nothing happening.
I know, but just
You
like
just got to make stuff up at this
I
point.
don't know. It's just I listen. Ken's got to do what he's got to do, right? And there's reports that someone's going to a game. He's going to a game, all right? One does not. I attach to it because we kind of banter back and forth. But now we're tracking what football games he's going to. I happen to have it on good authority that Yamamoto uses double-ply toilet paper.
Why is he whispering?
Because it's very big news.
Double-ply toilet paper?
And
is it soft enough for you?
The Dodgers, in their clubhouse, use single-ply. Per source.
Is that right?
Just listen, when he signs, let me know. All right? Who he signed with. I don't even care how much he signs with. Just, where does he go?
But if you're making all that money for Ohtani, you could afford your own toilet paper, which is as good as you probably have on the market, maybe even off the market. You could get your hands on some good stuff.
Breaking news, Yamamoto is a...
Seriously, who is this person? Did they drug him before he delivered the baseball report?
Likes the show Friends. He's a Ross guy. But the Mets have Seinfeld on in the clubhouse, per source.
I believe this is Marco Livero. He was our Packer insider,
yeah,
and now he's also our Yamamoto insider.
My sources tell me that Yamamoto will sign on a baseball team. It'll either be today or another day beyond today, and money will exchange hands.
It'll be before the Christmas or after the Christmas. Still too early to tell.
I just sometimes
Yamamoto loves Christmas.
Per source, Yamamoto is a real.
Well, I think that captures the entire feel of the baseball offseason so far. There's like nothing going on.
According to reports, Yamamoto has a real Christmas tree in his house, but the Yankees have artificial Christmas trees in Brian Cashman's house. Per source.
How does the Japanese culture feel about the real versus fake Christmas tree?
I don't even know. No, I just...
I was going to ask if George had real Christmas trees.
I'm not a real Christmas tree guy.
You're not? No, me neither. I was for a while.
Outside, inside.
It's like ordering out. You never know what you're going to get. You might get a good one. You might get a bad one. You might get one that dries out and is dead before even Christmas arrives, and then you get garbage.
Well, the biggest reason is because my mom was Russian Orthodox, and she would celebrate Christmas 2 weeks. We would all celebrate Christmas on the 25th, but we would also celebrate it 2 weeks later on the Russian Christmas. And if we had a real tree, so we kept our we kept our Christmas tree up a long time. And if we had a real Christmas tree, the thing would be a rotting corpse by the time the Russian Christmas came. So
I don't think you refer to a tree.
No, it looked like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I mean, come on, have some respect for the holiday.
You ever, Jacob? Where's Jacob's not even there? Is
I would hope he's at the station.
What's that?
I would hope he's at the station.
Well, he's at the station, but I don't think he's at his post right now, at least not where he was 5 minutes ago. But he played that song when we were coming back from break, like the Charlie Brown Christmas theme or whatever it is.
Linus and Lucy?
That's what it's called? The actual track is called?
The one, yeah.
Is that the Vince Giraldi Trio or whatever? The artist? Anyway, so like if you ever remember like the part in the Charlie Brown Christmas where all like I guess you call them the kids, right? I mean, like the Charlie Brown gang, like they have the Peanuts gang or whatever it is. When they're all kind of like dancing to, isn't it like that piece of music in particular?
That's it.
And understand like the animation 50, 60 years ago was a lot more primitive than it is now. And so it wasn't like super extensive anyways. But you notice like there was the one character who didn't move. He was literally just like bouncing up and down and his head just kept going from like side to side.
Yeah, you can take a look at that. It's kind of...
If he had the music playing, I could like demonstrate it, but we don't have the music playing.
While we were talking about the baseball, Yahoo Sports tweeted earlier, MLB Competition Committee approved changes for the 2024 season. Are you ready? You excited? You sitting down?
Yes.
18-second pitch clock down from 20, which is fine. Widening runners' lanes plus 6 inches. And 4 mound visits down from 5.
Is that like the HOV lane now, so you get more than one base runner? Like, what are we doing?
God, baseball wants to be golf so bad. 1-800-919.
It's obsessing over, like you said, like these like little minute changes.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Anything that makes the game go faster. You want to shave 2 seconds off. Pitchers seem to make the adjustment to it, and whatever. I just wanted to pass that along to you. Let's go to Paul.
Good job with the text, by the way, too, today. You're doing a good job with that.
Oh, thank you. I'm on top of it now after you scolded me yesterday.
With the whole Martin Luther thing.
I know.
But nailing a note to the door.
Let's go to the Griffin in Connecticut. He's been on hold for a while. I apologize. I don't want to be like Michael. What's up? Happy holidays, buddy.
Good. Happy holidays to you. I just wanted to talk to you guys and really just say hi and happy holidays. I hope you guys have a good time. I'm busy tomorrow, so
okay. I have to what do you have tomorrow?
We need to know.
I mean, if you come on and make it a point to tell the world that you're busy tomorrow, I mean, what's the busy?
We have Christmas Eve at our house every.
Yeah, but tomorrow's not Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's the 22nd.
I know, but I have to wrap my presents for my mom and stuff. She has work tomorrow. She's home on Saturday.
How long does it take you to wrap a gift, Griff? I mean, the show is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It goes till 6:30. You have from when the time you wake up in the morning till 3 o'clock. You should be able to bang it out, no?
I also have therapy at 2, and I don't get out until maybe 3 or so.
Well, what about some pre-therapy wrapping? That might help the therapy.
Oh, my God.
Or how about wrapping therapy, where you, like, rap during the session?
Or rap during the therapy.
No.
Like, you completely ignore what the therapist is saying. You just sit there and be like, I cannot hear you right now. Why? Because I'm rapping.
Yeah, hand me the tape. So all right, so happy holidays, man. I'm sorry. Listen, we're having some fun with you. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the time.
Griff, I was expecting a phone call like yesterday. I mean, you really broke ground with that one yesterday.
The one drop match.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got. When I listen, I watch the Yankees so many times, so I listen to Michael all the time, and you throw the show in there. I got too much Michael in my head, and I think maybe it got to me yesterday. Your wife has sex. By the way, Dad, I have a top 5 for you tomorrow.
What's that?
Because it's the Christmas. How about the top 5 Christmas movies?
I was thinking about that. I've probably done it, but since I can't remember, it might be worth revisiting and doing again. And happy holidays, and thank you for the phone call. That could be good. I've got a bunch in my head.
There's a lot of ways you could go.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty. I mean, maybe if you challenge me, I can do like one an hour.
I still think Griffin could, if he really and truly wants to, I think he could find a way to make the call tomorrow and check it.
But what are the odds he still calls?
Now that he said he might not be able to?
Don't be shocked if tomorrow you see him on hold.
Yep.
I think he probably will.
Matt, Tom's River, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, Matt? Hi, Matt.
Doing?
Good,
What's up, Matt?
Hey, great show, guys. I always enjoy when the two of you guys get together. I just, quick thing, Don. I was getting on my stupid Peloton bike exercising last week, and I almost fell off in laughter when I was playing the podcast of you talking about how you like late Richard calls.
Yes.
And just the term that you used. And my wife is like, what the hell is going on up there?
Funny.
And I, erupted into laughter. So that's got to make a run, man. You just got to make it.
Are we allowed to play that drop, Anthony? Or is that like a once-in-a-while thing?
I've gotten away with it like once. I think we're good.
Okay, but I do the fact that you appreciate it, I appreciate it. I'm glad you didn't get hurt.
I really do, Don. And another thing I really appreciate from you, Don, was when you stood up for the people to Evan Neal a few weeks back. I wrote an email to you guys on it. It's because the subject line is called "Don for the People." It's a little bit long-winded, but tells a story of how I relate to it.
No, I appreciate it. We'll try to dig that up. But what do you got on the game on Christmas?
Man, well, I mean, looking forward to it. Something to do. It's like you said. At the end of the day, instead of watching the Hawaii Fresno State at midnight, now I got Giants Eagles, right? I got my Giants, and it's just that bad taste. Us Giants fans still have that bad taste in our mouth. That Saturday night showdown in January was horrible.
No, it was just it just ruined the season. I mean, it felt like, me and Peter got into it afterward, where he's like, why did you even bother winning? And I'm like, listen, I want to win a playoff game, all right? I want to get to the divisional round of the playoffs. It's silly. But it did kind of ruin the vibe of the season, right? I mean, like if you had been competitive and lost, you'd be like, all right, well, listen, we lost to a better team, but we had a great season. But when they wiped the floor with you, and then the next time you step on the fields against Dallas on, Sunday Night Football and get embarrassed there, Matt, it's a reminder, and thank you for the phone call. I don't know what to expect on Christmas other than a loss, but it's nice what Tommy DeVito's doing. I believe in the coaching staff. I believe in the general manager. We're moving in the right direction, but they are light years away from the elite teams in this league. Light years away.
I think about what Philly's going through, too, with the 3-game losing streak. I mean, this is just, they might be walking into a buzzsaw right now. Like, wrong team, wrong time, I think.
It's tough. It's a tough matchup, and it's a tough place for them to be able to play. So, and listen, that Rams game's no picnic either. When a couple of weeks ago, you were thinking, you could beat the Rams. Well, I don't know. I mean, the Giants will likely not win another game, right? Because unless you're telling me Philadelphia's already locked into the wild card, or maybe they already wrapped up the division, depending on what Dallas does, and they don't need the game. But right now, they're going to be a dog in all 3 of those games, and this, DeVito and Giant field could end up the season ending on a 4-game losing streak.
It's possible.
I mean, that's probably the betting line, right? I mean, you're probably going to bet that's the way it's going to go.
Isn't this don't you approach these games as we kind of approached the Giants before the season started, when we were trying to make that, like, you could take solace out of the season despite not making the playoffs? Like, all right, you're not going to the playoffs. You might not win these games, but if certain players like the quarterback play well in these games and show you that maybe he is indeed going to be something factoring into next year, well, you take something out of that.
Let's welcome in Richard in Manhattan. You are on the air, sir. What's up, Richard?
I'm going to give you guys 4 pairs of superstars in the 4 sports. Rate them 1 to 4, impact in their sports. Willie and Mickey, Magic and Larry, Peyton and Tom, Sidney and Alexander.
Well, Crosby is going to even though Ovechkin still could break Gretzky's record, Ovechkin, because of the hardware, the golden goal, Sidney Crosby is going to end up having more of an impact than Alex Ovechkin.
No, the 4 together. I mean, together.
Oh, together. Oh, no, it's really, God, man, you're talking about Mantle and Mays. How do you get better than Mantle and Mays?
Magic and Larry?
I mean, they did basically save the NBA, right? What
about Russell and Wilt?
Where the NBA was between Russell and Wilt, and then through what was a really difficult 70s. It's
Peyton and Tom.
No, the NFL was fine.
Yeah, the NFL is fine.
Okay.
The NFL is fine, but you want to talk about moving the sport forward. All right. See, that's a good way of putting it, Richard, because you can talk about what's the best pick. It would have to be. I think it would have to be Bird and Magic.
Okay, fellas. Now we were talking about the influence of the foreign players in the NBA. I'm watching Embiid yesterday. I watched Giannis. I watched Ginobili and Luka. These are not basketball moves they're making. These are foreign moves that they're 4 steps, bulling their way to the basket, 3 hops, moving pivot feet. In the old days, you were not allowed to do this. Now, I know the reason. I think I do. And you'll never hear any of the commentators say it because politically it's not going to be correct. You want this sport to be growing globally. But these moves, Embiid yesterday on half those drives to the basket took 4 steps. Giannis just bulls down 3.5 steps. Ginobili did it. Luka Doncic does it. These are not United States basketball moves that we were taught to play with. Now, I understand the game wants to be known, recognized, and all, but for purists like me who grew up watching basketball with Bob Cousy and Robertson and West and those guys, I mean, it's really revolting to watch.
I will say this, Richard, and thank you for the phone call. You watch a basketball game, and you're like, oh, my God, he took 4 steps.
He ran.
And then you look at the replay, and you're like, maybe he didn't, because their strides are so long. Listen, are they taking an extra step? Sure. But I don't think it's as egregious as Richard is making it out to be, and everybody's doing the same thing. And it's not just European players. It's just that these guys are so immense. We're not used to seeing guys that size be that fast. And if everybody's doing it, Dan, then if one guy was doing it and everybody else wasn't, then it would be a disadvantage. Games evolve. Games change.
I just think back to like starting out playing basketball, like when at the youth level, like when you're taught the fundamentals and different things, this and that. Like, you know how many guys like palm the ball and carry like what you're not supposed to do, which is against the rules, like you know, carrying like and this and that, but they don't call it.
No, they're not calling it. They're not going to call it. More of your calls coming up. We also have ENN with Anthony Pusick at 6 o'clock. It's Don and Dan. It's the K Show right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN New York.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
We just shipped our millionth monthly coffee subscription box. We're sending custom thank you gifts to everyone on our team who helped us get there. I had to call Eric at Custom Ink. Custom Ink has been with us from the beginning, and he makes sure that we get everything we need and even reminds us of our own company milestones. This milestone, though, I get to tell him about. He is every bit as excited as we are and knows great quality products we can customize and send for the gifts. Celebrate all your milestones with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
There are things that I can get from The Athletic that I can't get from other places, especially in women's sports. It's the outlet that I consider to be the most equitable when it comes to covering women's and men's sports. The Athletic also provides in-depth coverage of my teams that aren't in my city. It makes me feel at home even when I'm not there.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. With his buddies at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof."
Brunt, the tools you wear.
The click of a pen, you can get a new Volkswagen at the Sign Then Drive event. Hurry in to lease a new 2024 Tiguan for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing.
This year, let Ford make the holidays bright. Go over any type of terrain with Ford Bronco Sport.
Hey, Dad.
How's the weather?
All good.
And the Ford Explorer with available seating for 7. And with power on demand in the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning, well, that's how Ford is making the holidays bright. Right now, returning lessees can get a Ford F-150 for just $299 a month for 24 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
Hey, so I found a betting system that's really working great for me.
So did I. What's yours?
I set up an hour-a-week time limit on FanDuel. I can also set up wager limits, so I only bet what I can afford, and betting stays fun.
Right.
So what's your system?
What's that?
Your system. What's your system? What is that?
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours.
You look like a responsible family guy. Looking for something with a little more space?
With the click of a pen, you can get a new Volkswagen at the Sign Then Drive event. Hurry in to lease a new 2023 all-electric ID4 for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due-it signing. Limited inventory available.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. The Nets have now lost 4 straight games, the last 3 on their road trip, and then last night to the New York Knicks in their first meeting of the season. Brooklyn held just 1 lead in the game after their first bucket from Cam Johnson made it 3-2 with 10:47 left in the first. Then the Knicks would build up a 14-point lead in the first quarter, which would balloon up to a 20-point lead by the time the third quarter came around. And eventually, it was as high as 25 in the fourth. Dante DiVincenzo put up 11 points in the third to help the Knicks build up that lead. He finished 2 shy of a season high with 23. Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson each had 20 for Brooklyn, who fall under 500 on the season once again with a rematch with the defending champions looming Friday at Barclays Center. But before we get you ready for Denver, let's take a look at the inter-city rivalry in the 2023 calendar year. The last time the Nets won, Kyrie Irving scored 32 on January 28th before the roster started to change drastically in the beginning of February, with Irving and Durant being shipped elsewhere. Since then, the Knicks have won 3 straight by an average margin victory of 17 points. The next meeting is January 23rd back in Brooklyn. Now the Nets get back to work tomorrow, as we mentioned, when they welcome in the Denver Nuggets to Barclays Center for their second and final meeting this season. Our coverage begins with the pregame show at 6:30, followed by opening tip little after 7:30. It's the Nets and the Nuggets. Coverage starting tomorrow night at 6:30 right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
We had Richard on earlier.
Yeah.
And Paul from Virginia has a Richard observation. You're on ESPN New York. How are you, Paul?
Dan, Don, fellas, how we doing? All right, so here's my question for you. First of all, this comes from a place of absolute love. I'm a huge fan of the show. I love Richard, so this is not a Richard hate question. But how good of a dentist would Richard have to be for it to be worth it to sit in his chair and be a captive audience for 45 minutes of, the 1882 St. Louis Brown stockings?
Paul, it's a great question.
It's a very good question.
The thing that I crack up with dentists, and I make this up, some of them, depending on who you get, not dentists, even like hygienists or whatever, but you have all this stuff in your mouth, and some of them are on the chattier side. And it's one thing to just talk if they're the ones doing the talking, Don, but some of them actually want to have back-and-forth conversations to where they elicit something, and then they expect you to respond, like asking, like, oh, what's your favorite type of ice cream? Obviously, you can't talk with all that crap in your mouth. Those are the ones that drive me up the wall.
And I don't know if he's actually working on people and making phone calls. What I'd worry about are people, like, waiting in the waiting room too long because he's on hold. You don't want to see that.
Or if somebody has, like a cracked crown or whatever. They need, like, emergency repair work on their teeth, and they can't take the call because Richard has a call about the progression of European basketball and how it's made its way to the NBA, and it's now ruining the rules and the fundamentals.
Another Paul. He's in Queens. You're on ESPN New York.
Gentlemen, my favorite 2 Jet Game Day radio hosts.
Oh, man, thank you.
Dan, let me tell you a story about what kind of class act Dom LaGreca is.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Christmas Eve and the Jets. So you remember the famous game where Eric Smith could not tackle Victor Cruz and Dom's team went to the bowl?
I was there,
the week before. Yeah, so remember back then, Dom, you guys had the ESPN booth outside.
Yes.
You and Greg. The week before, Dan, I tremendously apologized to Dom because I ripped into him. Why? The Jets played the Eagles and they were getting killed. The tight ends were eating them all up.
Yeah.
I get on the radio. It's a funny story. Get on the radio. Dom, if you don't remember this, started ripping into Dom. I said, you're a Giant fan. Why are you doing Jet games or what have you? So before the Jet-Giant game, I went up to the booth and I said, hey, Greg, I'm Paul from Queens. Oh, he had a forget it. He went crazy. He said, listen, you got to get here during the break and apologize to Don. Don, you don't remember that, do you?
I vaguely remember that, yeah. I mean, it's a while ago, but it's starting to come back to me.
Well, he was a class act. It was a class act, and I love you guys over the years. You did a great, both you guys are very knowledgeable, and you keep it entertaining. And by the way, just to let you know, since you brought this topic up, I'm so lucky to call. Well, I am a dentist too, but I don't call when I have my patients. I'm actually going home right now, and I call on Sundays when I'm not working. But anyway, guys, have a Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
Merry Christmas.
Paul used to call a lot back in the day. But I do remember that.
The Eagle game was where they got destroyed down in Philadelphia, and they were down like 28-0 or something like that in the third quarter, and like Santonio Holmes scores a touchdown, and he decides to like do the, remember he stands on the ball and starts like flapping his arms like mocking the Eagles.
I remember that.
You only need about 5 more of those.
Oh no.
And that's how that season slowly deteriorated in 2011, and then in the finale, Santonio Holmes got thrown out of his own huddle by one of his offensive linemen, remember?
You can't make this up.
Oh, boy.
I remember when Santonio Holmes was about to get hit against San Francisco and just, like, threw the ball away. He didn't lose it on the hit. He was just like, you can't hit me. I just threw the ball away.
No, he, like, broke his foot or something. And he was like, quick, take the ball. Just take it.
As my mom could say, I could write a book. Oh, speaking of books.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous job booking Anthony Pusick to do ENN when Peter's away. And he does a better job than Peter. And that's coming up at 6.
Little inside radio. I see his wall here for all the sound that he has laid out for ENN, and there's like oodles of actualities on here.
Yeah.
How many of these do you think he's actually going to get to?
4.
If that.
If we start, laughing hysterically like we're known to do before it even gets started, could be.
But he's taking some off the wall now, though. See, that's cheating.
Oh, cheater.
And there were some good drops. I saw which ones he took off, too. Oh, that was Jacob. Why'd you do that?
Nothing.
It was Griffin drops from yesterday.
Nothing like the ENN on the Thursday before Christmas, right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN New York.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy, too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
I'm Jessie Dover, co-founder of Dagny Dover. New York isn't for the faint of heart. The gear you carry around not only has to look good, but it has to work even better. That's why we create bags like the Landon Carryall, a bag that allows organizational junkies like me to be ready for whatever life brings. A bag that allows me to feel good about the things I carry. After all, this city is a reflection of who I am, purposeful, resilient, and ready to face whatever comes my way.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. Sign up today and get free chicken wings for a year. ButcherBox.
It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. With his buddies at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof."
Brunt, the tools you wear.
Welcome to the Athletic Basketball Show. Folks, the league is in absolute chaos. Players going off pretty much every other night. Playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of Famers. It might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Scorers on pace to break the
The Athletic. Subscribe today.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected.
Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry in. Don't let these deals get away. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or $3,500 bonus cash on the Santa Fe during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
When choosing between style, comfort, and performance, we chose all of the above. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
If you watch Yes Network on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download the app and experience the game in a whole new way with live stats, pick and play, and Yes rewards. If you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
If you watch Yes Network on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download the app to stream the nets and experience the game in a whole new way with live stats, pick and play, and Yes rewards. So remember, if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
I dare you. And on that note, good evening, everybody. Welcome to ENN on the Football Thursday. Big Rams-Saints game tonight on Prime.
3-point play, making it now Rams.
Oh,
so
that's a Rams 3-point play.
Which yo-yo made it their 1-point play? I want to know. Was it a 1? All right, first of all, give me the allocation.
Okay, the allocation is that it's a 1-point play.
Yeah, that's K. The K's going
and
Rams.
It was Michael
I'm going to tell you.
Going Rams. Yep.
It's okay. First of all, K always goes with a 1 point because he's gutless.
Wow.
I knew he was going to go Rams because he won with the Rams for his, I believe, 2-point play last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I could smell him like a skunk a mile away. Gutless.
Yeah, but you don't want it to set the tone. If you lose, then it ruins the rest of your weekend. If you're down 3,
Don doesn't. If it's either 3 points or nothing, it doesn't matter what it is.
So basically, what you're saying is that Thursday Night Football, more often than not, does nothing for you, and you need to get some skin in the game just to make it appealing.
Or it's quite opposite. I'm respecting the game.
You know it's going to be locked in?
Yeah, but most of them aren't that good anyways.
Here we go.
It cost them.
So there you go.
You know, we joke around, and he's on the Mount Rushmore, but you're telling me that his just lack of caring didn't cost him a playoff game? We're talking about Al Michaels.
Al?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of that.
I love my commies.
Let's. I just had to send, of course, the picks to Jarv because he does a great job for a shout out to Jarv from Oz. He'll have the graphics up tomorrow when we have all the picks in. But let's start ENN tonight by saying good evening to Don.
I've never spoken to Jesus.
That's interesting.
Dan.
The crack is tempting.
And our good friend Jimmy.
That's, you know what? We all wish we could have the day that Jimmy was having.
You know what's amazing about the Jimmy, that soundbite, is that on the wall, it actually says it's only a 1-second cut. There's no, sometimes if somebody hits a game-winning shot with a second F, there's no way that was a second. The clock operator fell asleep. There's no way that was only a second.
Let's hear it again.
Oh, absolutely.
That felt like 3.
It's like the old, the Dice Clay.
We have you doing that too. I don't know what I have it saved as, but I'm very confident that you have that as well. So yeah, that is the picks for Thursday night. Peter told me at about 3:10 that he's going to lay out 1-pointer for Michael, -4 for the Rams. Don, LA Rams -4 as his 3-3.
I don't know why it feels like he's been in Brazil longer than he has. Like he sent out a picture from the beach again today. Now he left a week ago, right? The last time he was on the air, he left last Thursday night. So he's getting the most out of this. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
It's a week. You go place for a week, and if it's a honeymoon, I mean, some people go a little bit later or a little bit longer than just 1 week. I think I went for like 10 days.
Thank you, Jacob, for finding that gem.
Yeah.
Some news from the NFL, if you guys are interested.
Sure.
Teams that have playoff implications will not be with some of their key players. Kenny Pickett is out still for the Steelers, which means Mason Rudolph will actually get the start against the Cincinnati Bengals.
What happened to Mitch?
Oh, he's not playing well.
Have you seen him play football?
And Mason, with your nose so bright, won't you guide the Steelers to the playoffs tonight?
I think there was some holiday pressure to get him in the lineup. Rudolph, you know?
You think Santa was involved?
No, I'm sure.
You know, well, I'd say that the Lord above was involved, but
I've never spoken to Jesus. I don't think.
So the Steelers have now done 3 starting quarterbacks this year.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
The mighty Steelers.
By the way, a lot of tems have started more than one.
What about Charlie Batch isn't available?
Look, Giants started 3. The Giants have started 3, right, Dan? Trying to think of anybody else. Giants for sure.
The Giants. The Giants have started 3.
Giants have started 3. Did Gardner Minshew miss a game at all? No, right? There was a chance that he might have, but that didn't happen because it's the Texas kid is the Ellinger is their third string. I don't think he started this year.
Not that I believe.
But there's been a lot of, as we've seen, there's been a lot of quarterback injuries, a lot of rookies, and a lot of second stringers playing very, very important games. However, as we know, JB, Joe Burrow, out for the Bengals. JB, Jake Browning, playing without Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. He will not play against Pittsburgh. He suffered a sprained AC joint. You saw him with a sling on at the end of the last game. So he'll be out of the lineup. That is one of those Saturday vehicles that we get. And the announcer lineup will be tomorrow as well. The Colts, obviously, right in the thick of it in the AFC South.
One of them is a Peacock exclusive, though, with the Saturday
I did
this
see
week.
that.
Yeah, the 8 o'clock. Thank God the Chargers are out of it already. There's no need to watch them. But you have them playing Buffalo.
By the way, did you see that's going to be the first commercial-free fourth quarter?
Correct.
That's something. It's not nothing, right, Don?
No, it's
I'll
not
be deeply enthralled in Jets Commanders
But,
prep.
it's not like they're going to speed the game up. They're just going to have, analysis instead of a commercial.
Yeah.
So it's really no different.
Yeah,
Have we figured out if it's GIF or Jiff Smith yet, the Chargers' new coach? This is his first game, right? This will be his first game because they played on Thursday night.
The fact that we don't have resolution on that tells us that that's an issue.
I think it's just been forgotten about. We should get resolution by tomorrow.
But the fact that we haven't gotten resolution and it's been a week tells you that nobody cares to go get it. We'll just stumble upon it at some
busy. Run Yamamoto watch.
You mean?
Yo, Cash, what up? It's Yamamoto. Not going to a football game tonight either.
Running back Jonathan Taylor will test his thumb out in practice. He's been out of the Colts' last 3 games. Hedged when asked if he would play Sunday, but has returned to practice and is testing whether he can protect the ball in traffic as the Colts prepare to play Atlanta. That's a game that I feel like the Colts could win, and Jonathan Taylor will certainly be a big factor if they do have him in the lineup.
Don't you think, time is coming to an end for the regime down there in Atlanta?
Oh, you think?
Right. I mean, they're going to draft the quarterback, and it's just...
It's just amazing that it seems like everyone's like, what's going on with this offense? And Arthur Smith says, we're doing everything we can, but Bijan Robinson doesn't get 20 to 25 touches a game, and they drafted him 8th.
And Desmond Ridder almost has, the kind of Zach Wilson trajectory. He's been benched, just as many times.
How dare you? Hang on.
Yeah.
On this show, we respect Desmond Ridder. Isn't that right,
We
Don?
do defend him quite a bit.
But I'm sure there's some ulterior motive.
Well, no. I mean, Peter loved Desmond Ridder, and we said your guy Taylor Heineke's probably better to start for that team.
But Taylor Heineke's starting the rest of the year.
He hasn't played great either.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith looks like an extra in Cannonball Run. Sometimes you shouldn't hire people just on how they
Arthur
look.
Smith is probably, if you want to get down to the nuts and bolts, the answer to the trivia question, who is the richest head coach in the NFL?
Really?
Oh, right.
Right.
FedEx?
Yeah, his father founded FedEx.
Oh, okay.
This is just something he does.
Just like who's the richest tennis player in the world.
And he's on McAfee a lot. Look, he's a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
But it's just right now it just hasn't clicked in Atlanta. And there's you want to talk about changes at quarterback? There could be a lot of coaching changes this year. We've already seen a couple of firings, a couple of guys that could be out the door.
The problem is if you're a self-proclaimed offensive guru, even if you don't proclaim it, somebody else does on your behalf,
and you don't score,
that's a problem. You've had a few years and you drafted a quarterback, first round, second round, whatever, and if you believed in him and you stuck your neck out for him and there's no results, you walk the plank.
And by the way, you want to talk about a team that could use a quarterback, probably the Falcons, but they're actually playing themselves in a way that if they win the division, they're not going to be able to get one of those top quarterbacks.
Don, think about the enthusiasm one would have to have on Wild Card Weekend to sit there and watch the NFC South winner host a playoff game.
I know, right?
Last year, think about it, with Tom Brady as the quarterback, it was a disaster against the Cowboys. And they were, what, an 8-8 or an 8-9?
They were 8-9,
9-8? Yeah. And the Cowboys smoked them.
We always made the joke that the AFC South was the ESPN game. ESPN was the AFC South Bowl.
No,
this year, it's
NFC
probably
South.
the NFC South Bowl. Because the AFC game probably going to be interesting. Texans, Colts, Jaguars, depending on who's healthy for those teams, if C.J. Stroud gets out of concussion protocol ever.
I'll tell you, if the Jaguars don't win this division, that is a collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Lawrence is in concussion protocol, but still, I mean, before he got hurt, they've lost 3 in a row. That's bad. This was their division, period.
Yeah. I mean, everyone, I mean, Michael was high on the Texans before the season started. He liked D'Amico
Was he?
Ryans. Yeah, oh no, he was. Yeah, I hit their over on wins. They were over 6.5 on wins. That was nice.
I thought they would even be 6.5, really?
Yeah, I think it was 6.5. Yeah. So that, I mean, but look, I mean, and the Colts, everyone thought with Anthony Richardson out, they wouldn't be anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 competitive teams in that division. The Titans aren't going to go away quietly. They're not going to win the division, but you could see they can give teams a hard time. Take a look at what they did to the Dolphins.
They should just wear the Oiler uniforms the rest of the season.
Those were great, huh?
Because I'd like to see, because they have the blue at home, wear the white on the road. I know that doesn't benefit anybody in the road stadium, but, people are watching.
You say that. It's like, wear the white one on the road. Show me some.
Speaking of guys on the outs, doesn't seem like George Pickens is long for Pittsburgh. See what he did last game?
Yeah.
Had a chance to block for what would have been a touchdown for the Steelers, decided not to.
Yeah, that was business decision.
Well, he explains if you want to hear it. Let's hear what he has to say.
I was just trying to prevent the Tank Dell situation, the same thing that happened to Tank Dell. I didn't want to get an injury. When you stay on the block too long, you can get ran up on very easily. So there's some people questioning your effort. Yeah, all the people that's questioning my effort, down play football, they do what y'all do.
It still didn't look good, and nobody else does it that way.
I'm trying to think, who's the backup? I can't say backup. Najee Harris, of course, is the starting Steelers running back, but the other guy has been playing pretty well.
Was he also the one in the game against, I want to say it was against Cincinnati a few weeks back, where there was a fumble and he didn't even bother to go after the ball?
Jalen Warren, by the way. Jalen Warren was going to be going in for the score. And I believe Jalen Warren said something to the effect of, I would have blocked for him. So,
that's not great. He doesn't care.
That's what friends are for.
And
Pro Bowl news.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh. Listen, Don, you're locked in now, right? Pro Bowl news. New event.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard this, Dan?
No.
One of the events, there's going to be 10 skills competitions. One of them, a new tug-of-war event, which I believe will involve the linemen. That do anything
Not
for
a thing.
No. AFC versus NFC tug-of-war?
It's going to be weird because you know how much I love football, but this falls into the category of they were doing it in my backyard.
I'd be more geeked up if there was an event for making cinnamon rolls between the
I think
two
Taylor
teams.
Swift would win that one.
Well, that's why I threw it in there. Yeah.
That's right. Good job by you. Well, the Kelsey, I would think Jason Kelsey's probably involved in the tug-of-war if he makes the team now. That'd be something.
Shred your hands doing that tug of war,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Especially if it's a tough competition.
But if you are interested, that's going to be February 1st and 4th in Orlando.
They did that last year, though, remember?
Tug-of-war?
No, they did all the yo-yo skills.
This is the new one, but yeah, they've got precision passing,
but it's the same.
dodgeball.
Tickets as low as $35. I always see that in the end.
Tic-tac-toe. I'll tell you.
You remember that, right?
No, remember, they're doing it again. They might lower the price next year.
I'll tell you who would do great in...
No, they lower the price. It's called invest in a doorstop, and they just keep the door open, and anybody can walk in.
You know who would do great in kick-tac-toe this year? Greg Zuerlein. He's been unbelievable.
He should go to the Pro Bowl. He's been great.
Little kick-tac-toe with Greg the Leg.
I'd watch that.
You'd watch that?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
On delay.
See, I gave him something.
Darn tootin'.
That's right. Buttle would watch it, too. He did a fine job punting.
I thought he doesn't watch TV.
He doesn't watch TV. That's interesting.
He doesn't?
My hearing is...
I thought he was a big Blue Bloods guy.
We found out that he does watch some TV. I don't know where that came from.
He streams TV.
He streams
watches
TV.
things like after the fact or whatever, but he doesn't make it a point to watch like current shows. Yo, Cash, what up? It's Yamamoto.
Well, today it was Aaron Boone at a charity event in the Bronx that reporters got to him talking about Yamamoto, and he was asked, do you think that previous Japanese players having success with the Yankees will help sway Yamamoto?
I hope so. You hope that's all part of the baked into hopefully it being us, and certainly he was aware of a lot of that, and it's something that we talk about too, that, we have had a pretty good track record going back now several seasons. So when I got traded in 2003, it was Matsui's first year, and you saw how that went, and from there, with, whether it's Kuroda, Tanaka, and on, Ichiro coming at the end of his career. So hopefully that stuff is things that matter and add up, but we'll see.
I appreciate the background music.
But why
Sounds
would
like a neighborhood tree lighting ceremony.
And again, this is not, Met fan, because I really don't care. I've never seen the guy pitch. They get him, they don't, they don't.
I liked your point earlier, though, Don.
But who played there in the past? Like, how would that matter to me? I'm playing now.
Honestly, I didn't even hear a word Boone said. I was just heard the Christmas song.
It was beginning to look up. By the way, Lindsey Theory, who was in my ESPN training class.
Why not?
What does that mean, the training class? They trained you how to do ESPN?
See, you're special. You didn't have to go do that. Me, Jacob, everybody else.
You got to learn the ESPN.
Everybody else had to go up to Bristol and go train for like 2-3 days on PR, not PR, but all the HR
learn how
stuff,
to praise Mickey Mouse and stuff like that.
HR and all that stuff, and getting acclimated to ESPN and everything. So Lindsey Theory was in my training class. She pronounced it Smith, Giff. Thank you, Kofi.
Hardgi.
Mm-hmm. So there you go, Giff Smith. That is the.
Did you make her acquaintance at all in the training class? You said like, "Hi, what's your name?" I'm Anthony. Or
when
no?
you go around and everybody says,
"What are you here for?"
Well, exactly. Everybody says what they're doing, and she goes, "Well, I'm going to be the sideline reporter for the Rams." It's like, all right, well. You're a little higher up than everybody else here.
And this was an in-person, no virtual stuff.
No, not at the time. No, that was 5-6 years ago now.
Wow.
Time flies, doesn't it, Don?
Sure does.
I didn't do the training.
I've been here for a little bit. No, you didn't have to. You don't have to do the training. You didn't have to do the training. More from Aaron Boone and Christmas music. What did you discuss with Yamamoto?
We talked about some different rivalries and, what's the stadium like in playoff environment.
Kenny G.
Big
Christmas.
regular season games against the Red Sox. We opened the season in Houston. We talk about those things, and you can see those competition things kind of light them up a little bit.
I
couldn't hear anything he was saying. It's just all you hear is the music.
It's odd.
Which I commend them. Like it's the holiday spirit.
Well, no, he's doing an event.
What was he doing? He was giving out turkeys or something?
He was doing, I believe it was a charity event that involved giving out food.
I think Cash was dressed as an elf scaling a wall behind him.
He was asleep.
It wasn't a backdrop with a step and repeat banner. Jason Zillow was handling the Alex Verdugo press conference on Yes.
I don't mean to mock it. It's the New York Yankees. It's a recognizable brand. They treat their players very well. So if I'm going to go play there, what am I going to care about? How much money are you going to pay me? What's my chance of winning? Honestly, wouldn't that be it? I mean, just like, Matsui played here and Ichiro played here. So did Arabu. I mean, so did
Kagawa.
I don't so they're not here now. I mean, if they're here now, then that's great. I can speak the language with somebody, an interpreter. It's the New York Yankees. You're going to get treated well. You're going to get treated well. They got a huge fan base. They got a chance to win the championship every year. All right, how much you paying me? I really just think we spend so much Tonka truck time about stupid things. I mean, I don't want to make it about the money, but that's usually what it is, right? These guys will say, "Oh, my dad was a Mickey Mantle fan." Yeah, but they also gave you the most money.
In your pants.
I want to see the discount. Yamamoto's going to give the Yankees because Matsui played there and Ichiro played there.
By the way, Matsui, Aaron Boone told us, not there. He sent the message. They said he was going to be involved. Remember that? The report of he was going to be involved. Mark Olivera reporting that these guys were going to be involved and that guy was going to be involved. He didn't actually go, but he did, give Yamamoto a nice message and what it means to be Yankee. And
signed
Boone,
a jersey, right?
Yes, and a signed jersey. Boone gave him a number 18 jersey and told him if he wants it, he could have it. So Boone will have to get a new number.
Yeah, that was the thing that I told you when you got on me because it was Matsui.
But no. I said you said signed jersey. He goes, what's he going to do with a signed jersey? No. He gave him the number 18. That's the significant part.
The way it was written, Don, it made it seem as if Aaron Boone himself signed an Aaron Boone jersey to give to Yamamoto, and I'm like, what does Yamamoto want an Aaron Boone signed jersey for?
He didn't need to bring that up. I wasn't going to bring it up.
I just listen. Where am I going to live?
Sure.
These are things I'd be asking for, not like what Japanese players have played here. I don't get it. Maybe it is a thing. I get it, and if you're going to tell me all the money's going to be even, I guess these things would factor in. But we know that's not going to be the case. Everybody's going to try to outbid everybody else, and we'll see what kind of discount he gets for this garbage.
Matsui is like something everybody brings up. But, like, is there any weight at all in the fact that Ichiro had a cup of coffee with the Yankees? Like, Ichiro was more of a god probably than Matsui, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was the end of his career.
But we never hear about that, though.
Well, look,
Shouldn't that carry?
well,
Like, oh, my God, Ichiro wore that uniform when he was 48 years old.
Remember, in the story that Jeff Passan put out on ESPN Plus about a week ago of what really spoke to Ohtani in the Dodgers pitch was a 6-year-old video from Kobe Bryant when he was going to come over here and he went to the Angels,
but
they
somebody
never
from
played
the
for him.
Dodgers could have been selling him that, and he,
Okay, but we trust Jeff on this show, correct, Don?
Yes.
So if,
Like no
if
other.
he said it was impactful, it was impactful. If Yamamoto grew up idolizing Matsui or idolizing Ichiro, yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. But you know what? Shohei Ohtani is a player on the Dodgers right now.
And again,
Kodai Senga's on the Mets right now.
And the Mets did it too when they were schmoozing Tom Glavine. Oh, you got drafted by the Los Angeles Kings. Well, let's have Rod Gilbert come and have dinner. Like what? That's going to make him want to sign with the Mets. I mean, I would think Tom Glavine would get Rod Gilbert's number and call him up out of nowhere and say, "Hey, listen, I'm Tom Glavine. I'm going to be in New York. You want to go to dinner?"
I got
to go sign with the Mets to go hang out with Rod Gilbert. Like, the things that these teams do, it's just so stupid.
What happens if you call Rod Gilbert, like, in that situation and, like, you get his voicemail?
Rod Gilbert's a good scouter of the area, so I think that would be something that would be interesting.
But Rod Gilbert was a Met fan. I get what you're trying to do, but do you really think it's going to work? Like, Tom Glavine would be like, you know what? I wasn't going to sign with the Mets. But they brought Rod Gilbert to dinner. How can you say no? And,
it was Rod Gilbert, the one who made the Mets tack on the extra year in the contract offer, which is really what got the deal done with Glavine. It was all Rod Gilbert.
I'm going to get Don slightly annoyed right now.
I love it.
Because I didn't even play the worst cut. Aaron Boone talking about
Christmas?
Soto. No, Aaron Boone talking about Soto.
No, but do we have
the
Christmas?
background? The background.
All right, go ahead, play it. Play it.
I think there's more in there. I don't necessarily think he's reached his potential. So, hopefully this environment for him, and obviously entering the last year before free agency, there's a lot of carrots out there. But hopefully we just want to get him settled, get him comfortable. And I just feel like he's a guy I could envision hitting anywhere in the lineup. And
what I forgot to do. As I'm
I
editing
wanna
it,
wish you a Merry Christmas.
I try to take out the breaths, the ums, the ahs. It just destroys the whole song.
No, you can't. You can't.
It sounds like it's just a split cut of.
Can you imagine
Feliz Navidad.
seriously if I was like doing like the Jet interviews each week?
Sure.
If I did that like right next to the
ping pong game,
or like a speaker system where they're like playing music out of the weight room or something. Like, hey, so what do you think about third and down? It's like
third and down.
Third and down.
That's amazing.
I like the holiday spirit, but
is that in the interview this week? Third and down?
No, it was very, very solemn this week. I could promise you that.
Well, if you're on Yes at 4, you heard Alex Verdugo get introduced on Zoom to the New York Yankee media.
We got to try something different there.
He was asked, by the way, about going from the Red Sox to the Yankees.
It's part of that rivalry, right? You know what I mean? So we kind of you feed into it. As I was with the Red Sox, I just fed into it. You really take it to heart. And I feel like it's a little bit of a switch up, but I'm very excited to bring that same energy but towards Red Sox now. And it's kind of like the mindset in New York, how people talk, they're a little bit more aggressive and, they're kind of straight to the point. It's like, I like that, man. I enjoy it. And, I think when they see me play every day and they see me bust my butt and work hard and, I think they'll like what they see.
Shaved right to the bone. Did you see that?
Yeah, he looks different. A lot of guys, though, when they get to the Yankees, do look very different without the beard.
You know what's amazing? Remember that very controversial Mookie Betts trade with the Dodgers and the Red Sox? There are more players.
That's right, because they picked up Jeter Downs.
Right, Jeter Downs and Alex Verdugo, now on the Yankees, that the Red Sox received in that trade than there are on the Red Sox.
It's not what you want. One more thing before we get out of here today.
This is too fast, man.
Look,
way too
Don,
fast.
It's a story for me, for Don, for hockey fans, for Dan as well, because he's a hockey fan. Jaromir Jagr, at age 51, made his debut last night for the Kladno Knights in the Czech League.
Is that with a K or a C?
That would be
Kladno.
K.
Okay.
Kladno. He played 13:44, had an assist. The team came back from a 3-0 deficit, but did lose 4-3 on a shorthanded goal. And the coach called Jagr's contribution excellent. Pretty amazing that he is still playing hockey.
I really thought there was a chance. I mean, the ship sailed now. He's 51. But after he retired, I really thought he was going to try to come back. When Vegas got the expansion team, in 18, I thought that he would try to make a comeback there.
The amount of mullets that would be in that arena.
Awesome.
I'm a Jagr guy.
Of course. How could you not be?
No, and he never, especially towards the end, he went out there and he busted his you-know-what.
Mm-hmm.
Always played hard.
Yeah,
and that's going to do it
that
today
happened a
for
few
Ian
times, too.
on this Thursday. Hope everybody else.
Big show tomorrow, right?
Oh, huge
Friday.
show. We got Joe Fortenbaugh. We got Greg Buttle. We're going to have our picks, a lot of football. It's going to be fun. It's going to be our last show together, Dan, in the calendar year. So enjoy your Thursday. Enjoy the football. Enjoy whatever you're going to do tonight. Get ready because Friday is going to be a big show coming up at 3 o'clock. We got Gordon and Larry coming up, and then Howard David at 9.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, Fairleigh Dickinson basketball, and then stay tuned right after that, a brand new edition of Yankees Hot Stove. For all of us here on the Michael K Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow for a Football Friday at 3 o'clock.
I'm Jessie Dover, co-founder of Dagny Dover. New York is